By the Ascended Masters and their accredited messengers, Mr. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard and son, Donald. The voice of the I Am is the mouthpiece through which the Ascended Master's instruction can reach the students quickly. That the most powerful work possible for America and the world may be done by the students to release the greatest light in the shortest time. It will also contain information as to where the accredited messengers, Mr. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard and son, Donald, are teaching the Ascended Master's instruction on the I Am. The information. The information given under the heading of Young America will be the Ascended Master's help to the young people for their protection and illumination. As they are the builders of the new civilization and are the channels through which the Ascended Masters will give their light for the use of the outer world in the golden I Am age. This magazine is not an outlet for articles from the students, but is the outpouring of the help from the Ascended Masters and has no human concepts in it. Live in the arms of my presence. I dwell in its heart of light. I breathe in the fire of being. I scale now the greatest height. So free in its fullest glory, my scepter of light I wield. I am the heart of my presence, its power and light, my shield. Today, as I move triumphant, majestic, and strong and free, I call unto you in light's victory, to live and its fullness be. Forever in dazzling splendor, a being of love I stand, lighting the way for God's children, illumining our great land. You, who now offer assistance, must stand as the Holy Grail, overflowing with light's pure essence. The I Am can never fail. Supreme then o'er all in thy power, O children of light, you dwell, forever in God's great presence, the one AM, and all is well. JESUS, Easter Sunrise Service Discourse. Out of
Jesus Easter Sunrise Service Discourse, Oakmont Country Club, Glendale.
Out of the acknowledge, awaken. Oakmont Country Club, Glendale. Hi, children of the light. I call from the great central heart of all light. Arise. Awaken, ascend, O children of the earth, into your freedom. Acknowledge. Oakmont Country Club, Glendale. Hi, children of the light. I call from the great central heart of all light. Arise. Awaken, ascend, O children of the earth, into your freedom. Acknowledgement of your mighty I Am presence. Out of the fullness of that glory which your presence holds for you comes the fullness of all things. This glorious morning symbolizes the ascension from all human limitations. As the light of the orb of the physical world ascends, so shall all one day ascend out of the limitations which individuals have drawn about them. Then you stand forth glorified in the full acceptance of the light, which gives life to all mankind. It holds, sustains, and glorifies individuals again, again, and again in the action of the outer world. From the outer activity, they may ascend out of all that which they have created, and come again into the glory of the light, that light of God, the mighty I Am, which never fails. Then they become its great heart of light, master of all the earth, of all the worlds they contact, master of all substance, for all the earth is filled with the light of God. Earth's substance is rapidly being transmuted into light substance by the call of the children of light. The onrush of the great cosmic light shall do its perfect work upon earth, never again to recede into the shadows of human creation.
Today we rejoice with you, O children of the light, in your willingness, in your joyfulness, in your determination to feel, to be, to have.
Glory of that light which gives you life. In the fullness of its expansion through your human form, it is dissolving and dispelling all the undesirable qualities, and again allowing your light to blaze forth, the light of the world. Beloved ones, today in this opportunity, our joy is boundless to again voice to you our rejoicing. It is the light within you singing its song of praise, that all mankind may feel its glory ever expanding within. You have been so privileged in coming to the point where you can hold your attention on your mighty I Am presence, the great source of all light, the great source of all supply, the great source of all directing intelligence. Today, are you entering again into the fullness of your birthright, the kingdom of heaven on earth? It is that to which I endeavored to call mankind's attention centuries ago. You are beginning to understand and feel the full power of those words. The kingdom of heaven shall reign upon earth once again, unto the glory of mankind. Today, in the great privilege which is yours, in the great service which you may render, shall you abide in that kingdom forever and ever and ever. As the light within you expands, so shall that kingdom become more apparent, more vivid, more powerful. Until you, in the fullness of the realization and privilege which is yours, call forth from that source of all light the beauty, perfection, harmony, happiness, and the glory which it expresses. Then shall you feel its full activity and import in yourselves, your world, and the world of all mankind. Today, we have great reason for rejoicing. You who have chosen to come forth in the glory of your mighty I Am presence and give this time to its praise and recognition. You and your world shall be flooded by the power of the light which is within you, your mighty I Am presence, your heart of light, anchored within your human form, in the full power of this mighty expression. Out of that glory, out of that presence, out of that great activity, your mighty I Am presence, there is pouring forth greater and greater proof of its dominion. In your call to it, your human is silenced. Thus, you stop requalifying its perfect energy. This will cause you to be the perfect being. It will cause you to express the fullness of the light that beats your heart, until all the world observes the radiance pouring forth at the call of the mighty I Am presence, your presence. America's presence, the land of the mighty I Am, is again feeling the great cosmic light, surging into and through its being, through its substance, until all mankind, even as they walk forth upon the substance of the earth, will feel its mighty currents surging in and through them. The very earth rejoices once again that mankind has ceased to impose upon it imperfection, which only the human can create. So today, we rejoice that human discord is being rapidly dissolved. Once again, the whole earth rejoices in its ability to pour forth this great light which it once had.
Know that mankind is no longer subject to the mistakes that individuals have made, for in turning to the great source of all light, people can feel that light, substance fill their beings with.
Mankind has thought of me as a self-luminous presence.
Know that mankind is no longer subject to the mistake that individuals have made, for in turning to the great source of all light, people can feel that light. Substance fill their beings with its self-luminous, intelligent presence.
Mankind has thought of me as a self-luminous presence. As my presence has been pictured to you, so shall all of you one day stand forth in your self-luminous presence, pouring forth your blessing to all mankind, until its light has become the dominant power everywhere throughout the earth. When you call for your own freedom, O beloved children of the light, forget not those who have had less opportunity. Call for their release, for their freedom. Call your mighty I Am presence through the mental and feeling world of mankind to charge forth, Charge forth! Charge forth! Quickly! Its mighty awakening active presence through the power of the light within each human heart, which is the mighty I Am presence. Today, beloved ones, your privilege, your opportunity to serve is transcendent beyond your fondest hope, expectation, or concept as yet. As you enter more and more into our consciousness and activity of your mighty I Am presence, you will have cause for rejoicing as never mankind has had. We call forth the great cosmic light. Will each one of you forget for the moment everything else? Just feel yourself caught up in that great cosmic light, the light of the world. Feel only that great light holding you in its fond embrace and dissolving every limiting thing within every cell of your body. Accept this service today and feel it. Qualify it to be forever sustained and active in your mind, body, home, world, and affairs, and in every cell of your flesh body. Feel this now, O beloved ones. Unto thee, O great orb of light, unto thee. Mighty intelligence within thee, do we give praise and gratitude. We amplify thy blessing to mankind and make it active within each individual on earth, especially within those who with joy have entered into this great stream of light of the mighty I Am presence. From today henceforth, we quicken this light into a mighty balanced activity for all mankind, to hold love, wisdom, and power in balanced action, to glorify each one in every earnest, sincere effort, as he goes forth in the service of the light. May every student of the I Am within the hearing of my voice feel it. May this amplifying activity reach into the mental and feeling world of those who are absent and act there with full power. May this outpouring for their glory and freedom keep expanding within them until it reaches into the environment in which they may be acting. Beloved students of the light, try to feel how great is your privilege in becoming a pillar of light in the acknowledgement of your mighty I Am presence. It is the light which fills your body and pours forth to all environment in which you move. Each of you can become just such a blazing sun of light as this sunrise represents to you today. You can feel yourself that blazing glory. Then, as you hold your human in subjection, harmonious in the great acknowledgement of the expansion of this light, you will render a service unparalleled in the history of mankind. Today, will you not accept the fullness of your privilege, the fullness of your light, the fullness of your glory and freedom which you will be able to carry forth to all mankind? No longer accept anything that comes from without, whether through the spoken word, suggestion, or otherwise. Turn wholly to your mighty I Am presence. Accept only the fullness of its power, pouring forth through you our love, light, wisdom, and power.
Feel the full harmonious expression of it always acting within you. Then no appearance, no expression of any kind can disturb or
Accept it, O beloved ones.
irritate you again, as you feel the power, the dominion, and the authority of the light within your heart. Accept it, O beloved ones, as never before, in the fullness of its acting presence and power to glorify you and to sustain you with its mighty invisible courage.
Accept it, O beloved ones, as never before, in the fullness of its acting presence and power to glorify you and to sustain you with its mighty invincible courage. Know that no longer has human creation any power to act, to touch you, or to come into your world.
Today, we accept this for every one of the children of the light here and elsewhere, throughout America and the world, we call forth the eternal light and the mighty blessing of the I Am to act within the heart of everyone. We call it forth to silence the human accumulation until its light pours through everyone unto the fullness of our perfection. Accept, charged into your world today, the full acceptance, the full conviction within yourself, within your outer consciousness of your ability to attain the ascension. Feel it, oh beloved ones, feel it in the fullness of the cosmic light of your mighty I Am presence. Feel that which I became the embodiment, the Christ light, flooding you and your world forever. We thank thee, mighty I Am presence. Twin
Accept,
rays.
charged into your world today, the full acceptance, the full conviction within your outer consciousness of your ability to attain the ascension.
Feel it, O beloved ones. Feel it in the fullness of the cosmic light of your mighty I Am presence. Feel that of which I became the embodiment, the Christ light, flooding you and your world forever. We thank thee, mighty I Am presence.
Twin in rays. He Ascended Master's explanation of the law of the mighty I Am presence concerning twin rays is very definite and unmistakably plain. It is one of the things mankind needs to understand very much, and if understood, would prevent a great deal of mankind's distress, most of which occurs through ignorance of this mighty law of life.
It is imperative that every I Am student know this activity of the great law of life and give obedience to it, if he is to have his complete freedom and the ascension. When individualization from out of the great central sun takes place, the first activity is the formation of a body.
It is imperative that every I Am student know this activity of the great law of life and give obedience to it if he is to have his complete freedom and the ascension.
When individualization from out the great central sun takes place, the first activity is the formation of a body made of substance that looks like white fire.
From this white fire body, two rays are projected, which
From this white fire body, two rays are projected, within each of which is an electronic body, one with the masculine qualities predominant and the feminine submerged, the other with the feminine qualities predominant and the masculine submerged. Each electronic body projects down into the substance of this physical world attributes of itself, much as the roots of a plant go down into the earth. These attributes, acting through the human flesh body, form the intellectual and heart or feeling consciousness of the individual. This portion of individualized consciousness goes through many physical embodiments, sometimes masculine, sometimes feminine, many times alternating. This re-embodiment of each ray takes place again, and again, sometimes hundreds and sometimes thousands of embodiments.
It continues until each individual manifests complete control in all outer physical activities of all energy and substance. It is only through the individual that the selective, discriminating, consciously directed intelligence
It
acts.
continues until each individual manifests complete control in all outer physical activities of all energy and substance. It is only through the individual that the selective, discriminating, consciously directed intelligence acts to govern the flow of the universal substance and energy. This means the attainment of mastery. Mastery over what? Mastery over substance and energy by the conscious command of the individual through the use of the great creative word, I am, given by himself. This is the journey every individual has chosen to take of his own free will through this world of physical substance to expand the perfection of the great central sun through himself. This means through a physical body made of the atomic substance of this physical earth. Each one having decreed his own journey through the world of physical substance must fulfill his own decree. For, being the creator individualized, he is the only authority in his being and world and must fulfill his own plan to expand perfection through himself in this world. This is how the great supreme source of all life and manifestation governs the universe and its activities, through the individualization of itself at various points in the universe.
Thus, every human being is the creator individualized, which means all the authority, power, ability.
Thus, every human being is the creator, individualized, which means all the authority, power, ability, and attributes of God, life, are focused into the individual to create and expand perfection through a physical body. When each ray has through many embodiments in physical experience expanded into full activity all the attributes of itself, manifesting complete control over all substance and energy everywhere it moves, then the ascension takes place. The ray that started out in a masculine body makes the ascension in a feminine body.
The one that started out in a feminine body makes the ascension in a masculine body. Thus is the perfect balance always kept. When the ascension of both has taken place, each is the complete balance of all masculine and
The one that
all
started out in a feminine body makes the ascension in a masculine body. Thus is the perfect balance always kept. When the ascension of both has taken place, each is the complete balance of all masculine and all feminine qualities within himself. Then the threefold flame of life is completely unfolded. The individual becomes master at cosmic levels of creation and does work with systems of worlds, as well as in this physical world. Thus, that which came out of the great central sun as one flame becomes three complete flames, each of the same full, limitless power and activity as the great central sun. This becomes the cosmic activity of the power of the 3 times 3. The electronic body is the power of the 3 times 3 for the human personality consciousness. When both rays have made the ascension, then the individual works with systems of worlds instead of just in one world. This is the way the Godhead is ever expanding the perfection of itself throughout infinity and keeping order throughout interstellar space. Thus, the perfection of the scheme of creation is magnificent to behold, consistent, credible, satisfactory, immutable, and beneficent always.
all manifestation of and in the universe is based on the control and direction of energy, which is life.
People often think if we are the Godhead individualized, The substance is from God. The energy from God, which after all is but another name for life, and God is all perfection, all good. Then how does it happen that discord is manifested here on earth, and destruction seems to have such sway at times throughout the earth?
The Ascended Masters say,
The human intellectual consciousness, through using only a few of its God attributes, has the capacity to form judgments and conclusions. Just from the reports of the physical senses, without taking into consideration the full knowledge from within the electronic body, which is the supreme cause and all-knowing consciousness from the great central sun.
Thus, if the intellect wants to know the law of the universe above it, then it must call forth and use the intelligence which controls that above itself.
Thus, the human intellectual
consciousness has only fragmentary information upon which to make its decisions. Thus,
unless it calls for the full information to manifest perfection, it falls short of the perfection which is within life and which should be expressed, because it has forgotten to keep its attention upon the supreme source of its being.
because it has forgotten to keep its attention upon the supreme source of its being, the electronic body, and use all of its God attributes. The attention of the intellect has been focused into the world of form, or upon the things of the physical world most of the time. The rays of light, which are life, flowing down from the electronic body into the physical body, do the same thing for it that the rays of light, life, from our physical sun do for the plant life of our earth.
Because all expansion of perfection on any plane of life takes place by the projecting down of life energy through radiation from that which is above into that which is below.
All is a constant raising, expanding activity of perfection. All energy and substance forever act under law, but they do not discriminate. The discriminating intelligence is located and acts through the individual who says, I am. Returning to the twin rays, we want the students and readers everywhere to understand that the supreme purpose of every human being's physical embodiment is to attain the ascension as soon as possible.
For that is the full expansion of the individual's perfection into and through the substance of this world. Everyone must do this sometime, somewhere.
For that is the full expansion of the individual's perfection into and through the substance of this world. Everyone must do this sometime, somewhere, and each one will continue to re-embody until he does accomplish it. The first commandment is the whole of the law of life. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Whatever our attention is on is our God for the moment, because wherever our attention is, there our life energy flows, and whatever the individual gives his life to is his God. This,
Since
since the electronic body is the source of physical life, then nothing should ever come before it in our love or activity of life. This is why the ascension is the whole purpose of physical embodiment, and winning that victory should be the main business in life for every individual. If the student wants to find out who his twin ray is, instead of completing his own decree to make his ascension, then he is not serving the light, which is his mighty I Am presence, by placing it first. Hence, he disobeys the very first law of life he has made for himself, and which rules throughout infinity.
When an individual seeks his twin ray, the feeling that is impelling that one is but of the outer or physical consciousness.
It matters not whether it be just for companionship or what is the desire within the individual. It is physical body consciousness, and whoever dwells in that or seeks to find permanent happiness there must someday be
disappointed because it is but
for
temporary.
it must have beginning and end.
Therefore,
That which is in obedience to the law of life is perfection, therefore permanent happiness.
beginning and end. That which is in obedience to the law of life is perfection, therefore permanent happiness.
The source of permanent happiness is the mighty I Am presence, and when the individual makes his ascension, he not only attains permanent happiness, but he frees himself from all limitations and inharmony. Then he can give assistance, without limit of any kind, to all he contacts.
He becomes all the word.
He becomes all the word master implies. He becomes Lord of life and victor over all in this world. Now we come to conditions that are pitfalls of unhappiness for thousands of people. Everyone craves happiness and feels that he has a right to have it, which he has. But permanent happiness does not come from the outer activity of life. Never did, never will. It only comes from the mighty I Am presence, because it is the source of all life, therefore all happiness. It does not make the least bit of difference how harmonious and happy you might be with your twin ray if you did meet in the physical life. If one or the other should be married to someone else and obligations have thus been assumed, do not think for one moment that you can push those obligations aside and cause unhappiness for others just because your twin ray comes along. You must carry out that which is a service you voluntarily assumed. The sinister force through the centuries has used every excuse to get individuals entangled in just such conditions, to create discord for as many as possible. That is why there is such distress in the family relationship of most of mankind today. Please remember, blessed ones of the light.
That thing must stop now and forever if human beings are ever to get out of the chains of their misconduct.
Please remember, blessed ones of the light. No one in this universe knows who his twin ray is but the mighty I Am presence and the ascended masters. No unascended being can ever tell you. So do not let any human being, yourself or anyone else, ever make you believe anyone is your twin ray. I, if it be necessary for you to know, Saint Germain or Jesus will give you unmistakable proof. Even if you met your twin ray and knew the full truth, still that one must never come before your mighty I Am presence and the victory of your ascension.
So long as human beings keep their attention upon and crave body sensations, even though that be mental companionship, just so long will they stay in the slavery of fear, doubt, lack, misery, and tragedy of every description.
The one who wishes to be free from those channels of suffering must look up to his mighty I Am presence and, calling unto it to take complete command of all outer activities, give it unconditional obedience. This will allow it to expand full mastery and perfection through the human personality, and thus the individual attains his ascension. The source of each one's own life must be placed before the gratification of the desires of the body, if anyone is to ever have permanent release from suffering. The condition is the same as if an individual built, finished, and supplied a beautiful home for someone he loved.
If the one using the home became so absorbed in the care and worship of it that she forgot to give any recognition to the giver and supplier of the home, the giver would certainly withdraw and all would crash into ruins. So it is and has been throughout the centuries with all mankind.
Human beings have become so occupied with the sensations of the physical body and its demands that they have forgotten entirely their source, the purpose and objective of life. They have forgotten what they themselves have decreed for this physical life. Hence, all discordant experiences are but constant spankings to awaken the human intellectual consciousness to obedience to the heart for the fulfillment of life's plan, which everyone who comes into this world has chosen to accomplish.
More than 75% of everyone's life energy is located in the emotional or feeling body.
Until that is all surrendered into the management of the electronic body, which is its source and the owner of all energy, misery and limitations will go on, because the law of life is not being obeyed. The law of life everywhere in this whole universe is to give back to the source of our being, the ever-expanding perfection from within the heart center of life. This means the complete control of all life energy at all times, for only then can perfection get through. Therefore, the duty of the I Am students is to live in such close companionship with the presence that every outer activity is the expansion of its perfection. As that is allowed to take place, the body automatically becomes purified, luminous, and free from discord. Hence, it ascends into full mastery, and the divine plan of life is fulfilled, to the eternal, ever-expanding joy of the individual himself, and the blessing of all else in the universe. The hand of my presence. Hand of my presence is held now in mine. The hand of my presence makes all things divine. The hand of my presence points all now on high. The hand of my presence holds all, you and I. The hand of my presence fills me with its light. The hand of my presence makes me dazzling bright. The hand of my presence projects forth its flame. The hand of my presence writes now the great name. The hand of my presence heals all man's distress. The hand of my presence gives all, nothing less. The hand of my presence wields power and love. The hand of my presence holds mine from above. The hand of my presence makes music and song. The hand of my presence holds mine all day long. The hand of my presence fills my heart with peace. The hand of my presence makes all discord cease.
The hand of my presence gives me all its power. The hand of my presence does all every hour. The hand of my presence sends forth its great rays. The hand of my presence holds my hand always. Shanera.
HEY is the camera of the mind. To consciously use its visualizing activity is one of the easiest ways to help the memory retain information it wishes to hold. Everyone should remember often that through the activity of sight,
the energy in the feeling body can be stirred into action instantly.
Therefore, until mankind is taught the necessity for controlling the attention through the sight as well as through the thought, there is very little hope for permanent harmony in the life of the individual.
Everyone from babyhood should be taught to demand obedience from his eyes, as well as from his hands and feet. The eyes should be taught to consciously see only that which will produce perfection in the mind, body, and world of the individual. They should also be taught to shut out what is not perfection, for the vibrations from everything the eyes rest upon flow back into the brain, body, and world of the one who gazes upon them.
Therefore, let us begin to speak to our eyes with stern authority, commanding them to see only the perfection of the presence in blazing.
White light everywhere we move.
Our first duty, then, is to observe carefully pure white light wherever we see it.
Pure white light wherever we see it.
Let us train ourselves to acknowledge and bless it. By removing that,
let us train ourselves to acknowledge and bless it by remembering that it is the GIFT of our mighty I Am presence, and without it, the light IT, we cannot do anything. With it, we can do everything. The pure white light is the storehouse of all power and perfection.
therefore, this month,
let us practice making our eyes see a dazzling sun of pure white light descend from the heart of our own mighty I Am presence and cover everything that we look at, which is less than beautiful and perfect. At first, it is easier to close your eyes and imagine this for a few moments, and then call to your presence to project it. Later, you will be able to do it with your eyes open. Do not get tense in doing this, but just feel a great joy in using this activity of the light. In this way, we shut off the flow of energy into our minds and bodies from those things that are not constructive. Then, as we hold the picture of the LIGHT focused as powerfully as we can for a few moments, we are illumining the imperfection and raising its rate of vibration to the point where its discord or imperfect qualities are not able to exist. This is the easiest way to keep the eyes so busy doing something constructive that they do not have time to wander around and rest on that which is not constructive. In setting this habit, call your mighty I Am presence into action, to make you do it all the time, and to make you forget to see all imperfection wherever you go. Always remember that your ability to see anything is the activity of the all-seeing eye of God, which the mighty I Am presence loans you for use in the physical world. You are held responsible if you allow it to see less than perfection. Next month, we shall take up the release of special pictures and activities of the light. Decrees. Mighty I Am presence, great host of ascended masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic host, and great cosmic beings. We, the students of the I Am and the ascended masters, call on the law of forgiveness for all mistakes of all mankind, past and present. We make the renunciation for all mankind and claim them all into the service of the light, now, in spite of all human creation. We give back into the service of the light, all on earth and in its atmosphere. Take all now, hold all now and forever, in the full activity of the light of God that never fails. Take possession, produce perfection, and hold your dominion here forever. Mighty I Am presence, great host of ascended masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic host, and great cosmic beings.
Release whatever activity of the cosmic light is needed to enable all sincere, determined I Am students to make their ascension together and as soon as possible for the blessing and freeing of the rest of mankind. We thank thee. Thou dost always answer our every call. Blessed young people of America, do not fail to call your mighty I Am presence into action at least 3 times a day to stand guard over you. And see that you do not accept any suggestion from anywhere but your mighty I Am presence and the Ascended Masters. People often say, is it not all right to accept good suggestions from others? The Ascended Masters say, no, stand alone and completely with and in your mighty I Am presence, because then you stand within the law of life, and thus you become the law. If you will accept only that which is from your presence and the Ascended Masters, you will never make a mistake. It is very easy to tell where any suggestion comes from.
If it is perfection, you know it can only be from one source, the presence of the Ascended Masters who are one with your presence.
If any thought, feeling, word, or act comes to your consciousness that is less than perfection, you know it is of human creation and should be immediately dismissed from your being and world forever, and from that of all humanity.
Remember, whenever you call the presence or the Ascended Masters into action to annihilate disturbance from you and your world, always call for it to be consumed from all humanity, the earth and its atmosphere at once and forever.
This expanding of assistance
To all humanity enables the Ascended Masters to give the individual his own release much more quickly. This expanding of assistance to all humanity enables the Ascended Masters to give the individual his own release much more quickly. It enables a greater outpouring of the cosmic light to come into the earth and its atmosphere. The more light we have, the easier it is to release and maintain harmony. The more perfection we call forth for others, the sooner will we have our own. When we stand within the law of life and call it into action for the blessing of all, we become the invincible magic circle of perfection, self-sustained and ever expanding from within its own heart, the mighty I Am presence. Therefore, young America, stand within the heart of your mighty I Am presence. Yield not an inch to anything less than Ascended Master perfection, and from this moment, all outer activity must turn and serve you in miracles of perfection everywhere you move. Affirmation. Mighty I Am presence. Mighty I Am presence.
Take eternal possession of my power and activity of qualification, attention,
Take
and
eternal
vision.
possession of my power and activity of qualification, attention, and vision. Stop forever the action of all human qualities and use
of those faculties. Annihilated all momentum of human habit.
See that only your feeling of such activities act in me and my world forever.
And holding the 24-hour decreeing groups, we ask the students to stay only as long as they remain rested and joyously enthusiastic in their field. Ings, while giving this service. Come in quietly if the group is in action. Come in quietly if the group is in action.
Join in the rhythm of
Join in the rhythm of giving the decrees.
Join in the rhythm of giving the decrees with a happy, energetic,
powerful feeling of unyielding, stern determination for the instantaneous fulfillment of every I am command.
Keep the voices low if the location of the group is where it might disturb the rest of others, because in all our activity, kindliness and consideration for the harmony and happiness of others must always be maintained wherever possible. One better stay only a half an hour or an hour and give the decrees with energy and joy, than to stay all night in a feeling of weariness. Do not let yourselves get overtired in these activities, for then nothing is really accomplished. Remember always, the Ascended Masters can only use energy that is qualified with harmony and joy. Therefore, let us all keep joyously active at all times. Nothing. Therefore, let us all keep joyously active at all times.
When we feel the need of rest, stop and get it, for then we can do better work.
Nothing is as important at this time as the giving of these decrees. Saint Germain has said, the safety of America and the release of the cosmic light depends upon
The intensity and joy with which the students issue these decrees.
Therefore, no outer work is as important now as our service to the light of the mighty I Am Presence.
Special announcements. It is our request that all group leaders register their names and addresses with the SAINT Germain Press. Mighty I Am Presence.
Affirmation. Mighty I Am Presence, let your full light come into me completely, and see that my consciousness is forever charged only with the Ascended Master feeling within your heart. Mighty I Am Presence, charge me with the Ascended Master's feeling that when I call to you, you know no resistance or interference, and the power of the universe rushes into action to fulfill my call. Mighty I Am Presence, charge my entire being and world forever with the Ascended Master's feeling that the light of God never fails, and hold it within me forever.